This evil hypnotic spell was cast upon the original Negroid race 6,000 years ago by the dragon spoken of in Revelation 12:9 called Leviathan, Isaiah 27:1, who are humanoid lizards, serpent people, reptilian mammals. They are the accursed reptilian serpents, the Luciferians and the Nadas, from right to left, Satan or Satan, people who are from the deep. The serpent people, the Luciferians being mixed with the Maldakians and reptilians, but the Drago or Draco are more like a snake than any other of them. Maldakians are a species of reptilians, humanoid lizards, albino white colorless who inhabited this planet beneath the deep or Yam seas in deep dark melanine recessive loss of all color before the Anunnaki, Anuna, came to Earth to mine for gold. The Maldakians were originally from the planet Maldak, also called Vulcan, that is no longer in existence. Many of Theses beings still live under the oceans and seas of the Earth. Others have come to the surface in crafts in their mammalian reptilian forms and alter their genome chromosomes mixed in breed with humans to create a hybrid walking around with the guise of a Caucasian of the Ushungal hiding in pale human skin. The reptilians have been breeding with you and living amongst you for centuries. They are humanoid in shape and reptilian in heritage. Their leader elite are the Draconis. They are from Draco or Drago in the six-star constellation Orion, meaning it has 6 suns, and that would mean 6 solar system, with many kinds of life forms. It's the 16th galaxy, shares within and lies partly in the 17th and the 18th galaxy, the Milky Way. The Milky Way is called such because it looks like a white path because of the denseness of the stars. The reptilians originally could only stay out of the water for only 3 hours. Now they can stay out of the water for 6 to 8 hours and retreat back to water only at night. The reptilians have no hair on their bodies, just as a frog or a snake. They are called the serpent people, and they have an amber glow around their heads when they get excited. They have a pear-shaped face, and glowing yellow to red eyes. There are 16 different kinds of reptilians seen these days by abductees. The reptilians are all cold-blooded and have a balanced environment to maintain their body temperature. The serpent race lives under the ground. The reptilian species direct the efforts of the workers' class, which are about 4 feet tall. These are currently referred to as Greys or Ebes, extraterrestrial biological entities, and are the largest group of extraterrestrial beings to be encountered by the surface humans. Most humans refer to each other as snakes when they have done something treacherous or sneaky. Do you think this is a coincidence? In Nubia, the name for reptilians is Dojer. This is the species of beings that religious people refer to as the devil or Satan. Job 1:6. Now there was a day when the sons of Elohim, gods, judges, angels, gods came to present themselves before the Yahayu, living one, existing one, Lord, and Satan came also among them, Shaitan, written as in modern Arabic, and in ancient Arabic, the Nobles Quran 2:14 and 594, Quran, chapter 2:14, and when they meet with those who believe, they say, we are believers, but when they are alone with their friends, the devils, Shea Ashanihim, they say, we are really with you, we were only ridiculing them. In Greek they are referred to as Satanas, Revelation 22, he is the serpent that is described as moving on his belly in Genesis 3:14, and the Yahayu, living one, existing one, Lord, Elohim, gods, judges, angels, God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field, upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. It was the spell of ignorance and blindness to knowledge of self and kind. We have had many names that the seed of the woman has been referred to. First of all, you must know that this seed of the woman will have enmity with the seed of the Satan, Shaitan, devil, according to Genesis 3:15, beginning with Sheath, Seth, Genesis 4:25, who was made pure and perfect by the Anunnaki, Elohim, his seed carried on pure onto Noah, Ziasudra, who then at age 500 beget triplets Shem, Ham and Japheth. Japheth's seed did not stay pure because he married a woman by the name of Ifat, who bore him a son by the name of Javan. Javan then married Iris, a Hivite woman of the tribe of Canaan, Canaan, and in mixing his Negroid seed he produced what became the Ionians Greeks in Genesis 10:4. In Genesis 10:5 here it tells us that this nation of Greeks who Japheth brought forth are heathens. The Hebrew word used in the quote is Gaim, meaning Gentiles, under the Strong's Hebrew lexicon number 01471, and in ancient Hebrew, Goi defined as heathen. The holy seed continued on through Shem, and Ham was the father of Cush, which means Ethiopia and black. Cush was the father of the Negroid Gibor ruler Nimrod of Babylon, and he had sons who became the fathers of many Negroid nations. Nimrod was a Negroid, Gibor, meaning mighty men, giants, Deuteronomy 10:17. He was a product of the Bane Elohim, sons of gods, mixing in with the daughters of mortal men, Kadmon, Zakar, Adam. Here on earth, as said in Genesis 6:4, there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of Elohim gods came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. Nimrod, Sherukin, a master builder, was the son of Cush, Kish, also a Gibor mighty one. Genesis 10:8. And Cush begat Nimrod, who began to be a mighty one in the earth. Nimrod was a descendant of Noach, Yaa-Sudra, a Negroid who was perfect in his genealogy, generations, Genesis 5:32, being he was a Negroid after the image of the Anunnaki, Elohim gods, Genesis 1:26, in part, and Elohim gods, judges, angels. God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness." All of these are the ancestors of the Negroid people of today who were brought here in a 400-year bondage under the Amorite, Genesis 15:13-15. In Genesis 10:9, Nimrod stood before the Yahayu Elohim, Lord of the gods, as a mighty man, and so did his sons, as Genesis 10:10 shows, beginning with Erech, Ugaric, or Iraq, then to Akkad, Akkadian, meaning the heads of black faces, who are the original Phoenicians who were black-skinned. Some were then mixed in with Sidon, Sidonians, who was the first son of Canaan. The Hamathites are from Canaan, his 11th son Hamath, which means blackness, and Canaan's first wife Salah the Nubian. Hamath is the father of the Hamathites, Genesis 10:18, who were the black inhabitants of Hamath on the east bank of the Orontes, river that lies in between Lebanon and Syria, lying on one of the main trade routes to the south from Asia Minor and northeastern Syria. They later became known as Phoenician because they moved into an area the Greeks labeled as Phoenicia, located on the narrow slip of plain between the Lebanon and the Mediterranean Sea. The Hamathites moved to Tunis, a country in northeast Africa, as the Black Canaanites, also known in history as the Phoenicians, who established the Tunis colony in North Africa called Carthage, and the Carthaginians always considered themselves to be Canaanites who were black. They also spread into many places such as Cyprus, Sardinia, Crete, Rhodes, Cadiz, in Spain, Sicily, Carthage, in North Africa near Tunis, Tangier, Ophir, British Isles, Arctic Ocean and the Canary Isles, and this is why you hear about black Canaanites in many places. Later the Sidonians supplanted, displaced, the pure Negroid seed of the Phoenician Moors. The pure seed from Nimrod's sons remained pure Negroid through Calno, fortress of Anu. They are also the Sumerians or Assyrians, which are the original Syrians in the land of Shinar, which is the land of Chaldea from where we get Ashur, a steppe, who is the same as the Syrians, who of course were Negroids as the rest of the holy seed coming through the woman, Eve, in Genesis 3:15. Now in Genesis 10:13 we see the pure Negroid seed continued on through Mizraim, Egyptians, who begot Casluhim, who was the father of Philistines, which means immigrants. We were the original Palestinians who were Negroids, who were also of Phoenicia and Lebanon, from Laban milky white Amos, as Moors. Ham also produced an albino son named Canaan, born while on the ark, Genesis 9:22. Canaan was the fourth son of Ham from his wife Halima. It is scientifically proven that genetically the fourth seed is the generation in which defects of a recessive gene manifests. This was proven by an Austrian monk scientist named Gregor Johann Mendel. Canaan had the curse of leprosy, Leviticus 13:14, put in his genes, which was added to his already recessive condition of albinism, a person having, through deficiency of coloring matter, abnormally white skin and hair and pink eyes. This is the same description as one who is leprous. According to the First Testament in the Holy Bible, when one becomes leprous they become white as snow, Numbers 12:10. In Numbers 12:11, being turned white is called a sin. In Genesis 9:25, when Canaan is cursed, his curse is in the form of albinism, therefore giving birth to the Caucasoid race, who is the cursed seed. The beast of the field is in Jonah 3:8 and Exodus 9:19. A curse of leprosy was placed on Canaan, who was an albino, lacking melanin, Genesis 9:25, and he said, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren." Canaan's father, Ham, looked upon his father, Noah, Yaa-Sudra, nakedness with the thought of sexuality and fornication, Leviticus 18:6-21. He did not have intercourse with his father. However, because of the unlawful act of looking upon your father's nakedness in Leviticus 18:6, the Yahayu, living one, existing one, cursed Ham, fourth son Canaan. Ham wife Halima, the daughter of Shakir, who is also known as Euban, an Anosite, a descendant of Seth, Adam and Eve's third son, and Unis, a Cuthite and East Indian mixed with an Osite, a disagreeable seed, was already impregnated into Halima when they entered the ark. So Canaan was born on the ark, which was really an aircraft that hovered above the water during the flood of Noah, Yaa-Sudra. Genesis 10:6 will give you the list of the sons of Ham of Sudan, land of the blacks, which is Africa. They are Cush, which refers to the Ethiopians. Mizraim refers to the Egyptians, and Phut are the people of Carthage, Libyans all the way over to the Algerians. All of these people were originally Negroid, and the land was theirs before being invaded by the beast of the field, Caucasoid. Genesis 3:1, the Caucasoids and their venomous seed of the serpent, which is symbolized by the dragon in the Holy Bible, also called Leviathan, Isaiah 27:1. The 11 sons of Canaan who are the cursed seed of the devil are listed in Genesis 10:15-18. 1. Sidon, 2. Heth, 3. Jebusite, 4. Amorite, 5. Girgasite, 6. Hivite, 7. Arkite, 8. Sinite, 9. Arvadite, 10. Zemarite, and 11. Hamathite. Their bodies were inhabited by 11 of the fallen angelic beings. These were unholy ghosts, evil spirits, demons. Each son was possessed by one of the unholy spirits or ghosts. 1. Sidon, Samiel, 2. Heth, Hekael, 3. Jebus, Jitteral, 4. Amor, Asmodeus, 5. Girgash, Gul, 6. Hivi, Hima, 7. Arki, Arakiel, 8. Sini, Satrina, 9. Arvad, Diush, 10. Zemer, Zar, and 11. Hamath, Beelzebub. There were no daughters among the children of Canaan, so the Anunnaki, Elohim, did not intend for this seed to carry on, as the seed is always carried on through the woman, Genesis 2:24, because she is the carrier of the mitochondrial DNA, and Canaan's seed was found in Sodom and Gomorrah, which were ancient cities of Syria, located in the area of the Dead Sea and the Jordan River, whose names are synonymous with the most disgusting and shameful of acts originating with the Canaanites. Genesis 10:19, the border of the Canaanite was from Zidon towards Gerar unto Azza, towards Stem and Amorah and Admah and Seboim unto Lasha. Within the online Bible Hebrew lexicon, Sodom and Gomorrah are known as the twin cities of evil. Genesis 10:19. Now Ham himself did not change skin colors as his son Canaan did as a result of his curse of leprosy. Leviticus chapters 13 and 14. How do we know that this curse will change your skin from black to white? You must also keep in mind that biblical leprosy laws of the time could apply only to a very dark people with black hair, because being cursed with leprosy would make you white with blonde hair. Notice when the Yaa-Nun, living one, existing one, curses you, he does it through the genes or your genetics, through your children on up to the 4th generation, Exodus 25. For example, as in the case of Gehazi, which means, Valley of Vision, the servant of Elisha in 2 Kings 5:20-27, who a Yaa-Nun, living one, existing one, got mad at and was turned leper white as snow. Gehazi was cursed with leprosy, because of his greedy interest in the material things of the world. Miriam, Moses and Aaron, the nobles, Quran 2-248, sister, was turned leprous white in Numbers 12:5-10, when a Yaa-Nun, living one, existing one, became angry with her, Numbers 12:5-10, Deuteronomy 24:8-9. Yaa-Nun, living one, existing one, cursed her because she was angered at the fact that her brother Moses, who is called Musa, the nobles, Quran 2:92, in Ashuric Syriac Arabic, married Rossi, Numbers 12:1, a Cushite, a dark-skinned Negroid woman, a pure black seed of the word of the Al-Unel, the Most High, Luke 8:11. Now the parable is this: the seed is the word of Theos, Elyon El, Most High God. Another quote proving that leprosy comes when Yaa-Nun, existing one, living one, Lord, is mad at you is 2 Chronicles 26:19-20, where Yaa-Nun, existing one, living one, Lord, got angry at King Uzziah son of Amaziah. His power overwhelmed him, and because of his ego, he felt that he could go against the word of Al-Unel, the Most High God, and burn incense upon the altar of incense, even though he was not a priest. However, before he could burn the incense, Yaa-Nun, living one, existing one, cursed him with leprosy raising from his forehead, and he, being a leper, was cut off from the Anunnaki Elohim. The nobles, Quran, chapter 2-248, then said to them their prophet, the sign of his kingdom is that there shall come to you the ark of the covenant, in which there is tranquility from your Lord, and the relics of what the descendants of Moses and the descendants of Aaron left. The heavenly hosts shall carry the ark of the covenant. Verily, in that is a sign to you if you are really believers. Turning leprous white is a sin according to the First Testament in the Holy Bible, Numbers 12:11. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, Yaa-Nun, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Make note that in this same chapter Moses was called Adonai, which means Lord or Master in Hebrew, Numbers 12:11. Moses knew that mixing his seed within the Ethiopian, Cushite, mentioned in Genesis 2:13 would strengthen the black skin seed. The name Cush Ethiopia was in Genesis chapter 2 long before Genesis chapter 10, as the sons of Ham. So Moses' bloodline would produce offspring that would strengthen his blood back to the pure, perfect, Negroid seed of Noah, Yaa-Sudra, Genesis 6:9. Knowing this would have made their families, Israelites, seed even stronger. Miriam objected to her brother marrying out of the immediate seed. Rossi, the daughter of Milcani and Kudri, was very dark with very Negroid features, and Miriam, like many mixed Negroids, thought that Rossi was black and ugly. Miriam wanted to weaken her seed, for she fell victim to the image of the beast, Revelation 13:15. Now look at the number of these verses, Genesis 3:15 and Revelation 13:15. That is no coincidence. The chapter and verse numbers are the same, and they both are referring to the beast, Leviathan. Miriam was influenced by her environment that was full of lawbreakers. Yahweh Elohim, Lord of the gods, told his Negroid holy seed from Abraham, Ibruam, not to mix the pure Negroid seed with the Canaanites, Genesis 24:3, and I will make thee swear by the Yahweh existing one, living one, Lord, the Elohim of heaven, and the Elohim of the earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell. Now in Genesis 10:21 we pick up the genealogy of the holy seed with Shem, one of the triplet sons of Noah, Yaa-Sudra, born to him when he was 500 years old, Genesis 5:32. You are only 500 for 1 year in your life, so all 3 sons were born when he reached his 500th year, thus they had to be triplets. This Shem was the father of Hud, Eber, from the other side, the same word as Hebrew in Genesis 14:13. So the original Eberites or Hebrews were also Negroid, and then in Genesis 10:25, Hud, Eber is the father of Joktan, who most Arabs claim to descend from, and he was a Negroid, as was the pure Negroid seed all the way down to Muhammad of Arabia, who was also a Negroid. Muhammad himself traced his seed back to Abraham, Ibruam, the Syrian, and his Egyptian wife Hagar, the Mizraimite, both from the seed of Noah, Yaa-Sudra, to his son Ham. He in his own writings claimed to be from Ishmael, Abraham, Ibruam, and Hagar's, Hakat Ray, first son, who later begat 12 sons, Genesis 25:13, 1, Nebaioth, 2, Kedar, 3, Adbeel, 4, Mibsam, 5, Mishma, 6, Duma, 7, Masa, 8, Hadar, 9, Tama, 10, Jater, 11, Nephish, 12, Kedema, and 1 daughter Bashemath in Genesis 36:3, who changed her name to Mahalath in Genesis 28:9 after committing the great sin of mixing her seed with Esau. The seed Muhammad identified with was Kedar, the second son of Ishmael, and Kedar means black-skinned or dark-skinned. So Muhammad, the prophet of Arabia, was of the Negroid race. Now in Genesis 10:31 you see Shem again, still the holy seed, being unmixed and pure Negroid blood. They also had developed their own tongue or dialects from the original Ugarit, which was the language spoken of those who lived along the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, which means between the 2 rivers, Genesis 24:10, Deuteronomy 23:4. We have the original Akkadian, Syrian, Arabic, Chaldean, Aramean, Hebrew, and many more who were Negroid originally before being displaced and mixed out. Genesis 10:32 closes this up for a time, and though many of our brothers fell victim to Satan, Shaitan, devil's seed, and became unholy, we kept our genealogy perfect as Noah, Yaa-Sudra, did, making him perfect in his genealogies, genetics, in Genesis 6:9. Then comes the flood and after. Now in Genesis 11:10 the genealogy of Shem is picked up again, from Arphaxad to Salah to Eber to Peleg to Ru to Serug to Nahor to Terah, father of Abraham, Ibruam, who had a brother named Nahor in Genesis 22:22, and this Nahor had a son named Bethuel in Genesis 22:22, who was a Syrian, Genesis 25:20. He is the father of Rebekah, the wife of Isaac, parents of Esau meaning hairy and Jacob meaning heel holder or supplanter. Esau was the first son of twins out of the womb, and as such was entitled to the birthright, Genesis 25:25, 31, but was tricked out of it in Genesis 27 and became very angry to the point where he committed the great sin and he mixed his seed with the Canaanites, Genesis 28:16, Genesis 24:3, in Genesis 26:34. So his seed was cursed, and the Yahweh living one, existing one, hated Esau for this, Malachi 1:3, Ezekiel 35:3. Esau is the father of the Edomites, the Mongoloid race, Orientals and Asiatics. Esau became known as Edom meaning red when he sold his birthright to Jacob in exchange for a bowl of red pottage, Genesis 25:28. The seed of Jacob was kept holy. One of Jacob's wives, Leah, was the daughter of Laban, Rebekah's brother, the Syrian, Genesis 25:20. Leah becomes the woman's seed at this point, so the woman's seed continued to be at odds with the serpent's seed from Genesis 3:15. Jacob had 4 wives and 12 sons, Exodus 45:22-26, and 1 daughter, Dinah, Genesis 30:21. Some of his sons mixed their seed and became unholy, but Issachar, Benjamin, Dan, Asher and the princes of the tribe of Judah, 2 Chronicles 12:5, maintained the purity of the holy seed. Judah, who was the 4th son of Jacob and Leah, is called black-skinned in Jeremiah 14:2. The pure black seed that is rightly called the lost seed of the house of Israel, tribe of Judah, called the tents of Judah in Zechariah 12. The Yaa-Nun, Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. This pure seed can be traced all the way back to Adam, Adapa. In 1 Chronicles chapter 1, it gives the bloodline from Adam, Adaba, 4026-3096 BCE, to Seth, Sudi, 3896-2984 BCE, and his seed, which is where the pure black seed stemmed from, which is rightly called the lost sheep of the house of Israel, Matthew 10:6, 15:24, tribe of Judah, called the tents of Judah, Zechariah 12:7, having life in the bloodline, Leviticus 17:11, by way of the Elohim's gods, judges, angels' divine intervention. From Seth, Sudi, 3896-2984 BCE, it goes to Luke 3:38, to Enoch, in Chaim, 3404-3039 BCE, Luke 3:37, to Noah, Ziasudra, 2970-2020 BCE, Judah, Genesis 6:9, who was perfect in his generations, to Abraham, Ibruam, 2078-1903 BCE, Genesis 17:5, to Isaac, 1978-1798 BCE, Genesis 17:19, to Jacob, 1918-1771 BCE, Numbers 24:17, through Judah, 1875-1700 BCE, Genesis 49:10 and Luke 3:33, again which takes us back to the black seed, Job 30:30, of the Negroid or Niger in Acts 13:1, Jeremiah 14:2. This is the same pure seed Adonijah carried, the 4th son of King David and Haggith, who bore a son from Abishag, Song of Solomon 1:5. It was this son Adonijah who set up the kingdom of Judea, which is further south of Israel. The pure seed then went to Anna, Luke 2:36, and her husband Joachim, the father of Mary, mother of Yeshua HaMashiach, Isa al-Masih, Jesus the Messiah Christ. The ancestors of Negroids are the deities bearing 9 ether, or 9 to the 9th power of 9, 999. These beings are the Elohim gods, judges, angels. This spell was cast by the Satan, Shaitan, devil, that old serpent, Revelation 12:9 and 20-2, in Christianity, Apophis the serpent in Egyptology, and Zun in Sumerian writings, who is the father of Halel, a Nakashite, meaning whisperer, a reptilian, who in Christianity is known as a dragon, which is Leviathan, who is from the planet Titan, which is a moon of Saturn. Titan is where these physical Luciferians once dwelled, and their spirit, being 6 ether, dwelled in Saturn, Luna. They are your 200 fallen angels that was cast out with Lucifer, as stated in the Second Testament in the Revelation 12:9, and I quote, "And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him." The 200 fallen angels were cast from the moon. Titan comes from the Draco's 18-star constellation, which broke away and made its home in the 3rd solar system. Satan or Saturn fell from grace and was cast out of heaven, which in Greek is Strong's Greek lexicon number 3772 Oranos, meaning the sky, and took residence in the planet, Isaiah 14:12, which became the largest moon of Saturn, which is not a planet, but a gaseous ball. Saturn's moon is really the planet, which is called Titan. The beings of that moon mixed with a breed of reptilian beings. They're called dragon, seaman, serpent people, of which Nakash was one, Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Yahayu Elohim, Lord of the gods, had made. In the Sumerian doctrine, Marduk, the grandson of Anu. Anu is considered the most high in Sumerian doctrine. He is a Yahayu, living one, existing one, used the Tilu weapon, a red beam of light, or a light beam ray gun, from the gemstone, Sardius, a laser that was created by his grandfather Anu to stop Tarnush, who is the disagreeable being from Titan in his disagreeable ways. He, Marduk, succeeded in his mission.